Minimara or J.D. Breno, a dear Jumadian Washasi, a dear Guaquemo, all support a yes, Salam Mustafa, that office Nimu. I mean, the general worker almost to galvanize the youth for the NPP and more so ensure say Ghanaian youth in general. You know, Kosen Nafa. Ike, Akwa saying.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chat with you for Nina.
It's in for Joe so.
Na Bibia Boko.
Bibia Boko.
By me Chrome for Jamestown Fishing Harbour.
Okay.
Across the coastal belt. Almost the infant chair and Mamu. Anyway, for Nina say. More than another Don Kwabena Prah. Any era. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or near Maya Bomu. Since the time I'm mobile into office, me know say across the coastal breadth of the country, many, landing beaches, any harbors or Moses, munim sebe bomo. Na me can also any harbor no nkwa nebe boa fishermen. For wherever there is an harbor no, nyama bebre nso na san be kan. Omo ma bebre ebe ice, ejuma omo de be boa fishing community na wo ho no. Omo turn oil. I mean, nyama eboa to create a holistic environment for a fishing harbor no nyina ba ebeboa enti omo say mi mfamo so na yenda binance mam
okay
enti mi amabeye omo ba represent the youth of this country within the NPP block no
yeah
me fa wakonya so na mada abanase amomo na yesu ya show omo kran so omo koso na omo yen sa nema bebre Mfamboa, the coastal community.
Good.
Yes, you
I'm happy to say you started from the coast. Now, while so no, an indigenous, but are you also aware of the shortage of premix fuel challenges fisher folks go through in that regard?
Yes, you see, premix is the same there for some time. Akoso for quite some time. Now, Obekaya, more often than not, among for if it's a premix for a fisherman penna, used to premix. Goes almost the length and breadth of this country because there are several landing beaches from the coast all the way to the north across the water lake. Yeji areas on yesu premix e wo no. Na issue ni say aban buy power no mo realize say the distribution of the premix no bebre no na awan hwe ya politics ni human interference bebre no and to me mboa with the distribution and nti na ye the premix committee ebe share omukena edi put it together with a chairman usher to the distribution of premix. Indeed, we share the baking of premix now. We share the oil, the ordinary oil, the ordinary oil neba. No the some form of engine oil be a mixing.
Yeah.
A banisana, a money boy heading, and with the exchange rate issues no, and also affected premix kakra. But I think quite recently, the chairman of the premix committee, Miyama Danfo, Oyo Central Regional First Deputy, enemy catch him say there have been enough measures in place for Mudia to do coin say as soon as possible premise ebeba for all the fisher folk. Enti your best wrong say I mean send your money into Boasia so far no omun koso enya into Boasia the premix will be coming very soon.
I see. I'll take your word for that, but say with the committee, I wouldn't want to drag this conversation because a series of engagements with the fisher folks. Right. We've gone around and you need more concerns. Even the politics around premix, Mayor Ibaye, and the committee or you free or the new committee by Amanfu Enyebi. We are well aware of how a Kumsin Kotema incident is on the but and no now by for dimension say okay say we are from the fishing community in Tina. Mibusao and Sembi in that regard, but you're fair known to, but we are Bebuno. So, Hyde, tell me, one kasa, cast your mind across. What are your general impressions about the Ghanaian youth? Ghana Mebuno is saying?
Well, from maybe where I'm coming from, no, I mean, I'm the biggest beneficiary of benevolence of youthfulness. Any buying support on Modiaba. Obekaya, man, sorry, preocupa, I'm the Deputy National Youth Organizer. Barely 2 years ago, I'm a NUGS president. NUGS is a National Union of Ghana Students. I mean, Ghana have an students who across the country. I mean, I'm here a summer for. I can't almost summer for because I'm a leader who serves, not the person who decides to take capacity and lead. So I serve them. Across the line, no, who say, "Mejuma midi, no, midini ye, and see, hombe was a party." Now earlier no can be say I was elected. No. Within NPP, the deputies are appointed, and appointment is based on capacity and competence. And be part in paying for. We share here Salam Mustafa. We did more NPP mu ye pa. Medana say na me sanso chiano this afternoon. Ye Juma Bebre, or share any mamuno after the election of national executives. No, Tunsa Frame say together with my colleague Sandra Sarkodiado, Yemfaye abilities and Mambeboa towards helping the NPP for the next 4 years. Now, so far, no, it's been a wonderful, service. You're paying for share your party chairman, Mr. Brenya Sivin team. Olidi party ni yepa. Your son's the young general secretary, or you're Justin Kudian, so support ye baby. And of course, any in paying and Abi, and also has been a support system. And so far, so good. And yes, say, we have also just been beneficiary, but sometimes also it's also on our part, we pre the virtues of this government, because New can say, ever since I buying back power, there have been challenges, just like any other government. But then, Nima Bibre, no Modi, Atutu Kwayama, Senia Beya, we the youth will also be in a certain pedestal. Umame Kwayama, Bobo, some of these Nema. So, first of all, I'd like to start with education because honey, my background as a NUCS president. I have had the privilege, say, many Ministry of Education, any get fund, and some of the relevant stakeholders. Ebi didn't come more able to anamu concerning things I have students. So, Kaya, at the heat of my time, and free SHS issues I started here because 2020 we were in the free SHS period and COVID in Subai. Meaning, say, prior to that, Nanama be brain Ekuyi Wagana has until unfortunately COVID, any Ukraine war issues and some saying so, man, Nema be brain touch him. But at the time, the issue was about congestion and where your campuses move. For the past 3 years, I was saying Ghana for your struggle. Now sometimes no move from my son into honum na omunti from kakra. For the past 3 years, you can say the best WASI results within our republic has been achieved. Consistently, we've done over 55% for the past 3 years. And it's a free SHS in year. Then ABP has say the core subjects, we've had consistent results. Yes, indeed. Yesterday, free SHS nonsense, more congestion. Sometimes, for every problem, Nima Baby will start here. Sometimes, when your issues, but along the line, you perfect it. Now, Kaya, get fund, and Ira, Honorable Matthew Poku Prempe, doctor. There's Dr. Wedu of Get Fund. Omudi, Niama to Honum Senebeya, easy congestion, what campus. Over 800 facilities across the country were put up across the country. Meaning, can say over 70% of those projects are done. I must say, congestion is no more a matter of conversation within the issue of the free SHS conversation. Notwithstanding that, I was saying, TVET, the new dimension and focus of this government. And then just the focus of this government. But so what buyer or what vision are all the Nyama Tutu Kwamu Senebeya. A productive economy. We won't say we go beyond just building factories. One of the cardinal policies of this government has been 1D, 1F. You can say a lot of these factories have come up across the country. In Kofobibre, each and every day come up with ideas. Say Nkebeya, Niama, you produce free factories in Lienlebun. No moon say, we are cotton, so cotton soup, and we are 1D, 1F product. Because in a bay, I'm going to make distinguish between the ordinary things that come on the market, and also because in the long run, and also MIS stabilize the dollar issues. Because sometimes, of course, supermarket no cotton soup, now you soap, you produce your crap. And it's a true Ghanaian and a patriot, a call, sure, bisa. But to distinguish say me toss up where every 1D 1F I'm buying made in Ghana. Me to where me hurt the economy of Ghana because I was say obin cost $1 and sana on to me Accra the bisa ediaba yemaimo. And the long run is say South factories here is you be here human capital or more capacity to feed into some of these factories.
Yeah.
And so a buying then again looks into TVET, technical vocational education. Then again, under the former minister, you harmonize it. First, not TVET, or different agencies as the Ministry of Agri or training school for agri scientists, Manema, CSR, Ghana Education Service under Dr. Boedu any era napo omo harmonize this system and Ghana TVET service. For now, we have moved from the 3% in terms of movie into the TVET space to over 5%. It is still less than number compared to numbers or Eastern Europe, Manema, Czech Republic, some of these Scandinavian countries, they are doing about 40%. But at least we have made some progress. You can say, because it's a TVET free. Yebumano bebre, imbemunu bebre na sese omunsua nsano ejuma omode be boa be feed factories nso. Ye sanso ti asese enye obia na betumi akọ university because enye obia na sebe o wa adwun ye dey sua dey work classroom. Ana say otumi hu sa anima we nso. And the solution of our industrialization and the drive as a country, it does not only rely on services because technical ability to also do some of the technical things here in terms of, for instance, I'll cite an example. For a very long time, Ghana Gas at some point in time was paying expatriates from China no money a gas plant there or to Abono. The current CEO of Ghana Gas, Dr. Santi, no, there be sana. I was say yen bo my Obisa says send a DNA bit me a year it be training Ghana for sino one casabe money plant because expatriate by you should be university of expatriate management. So the foreigner be back. So mambe ye juma o my mo. Who says a cabebre and son out in Paneba. Sebi nipa yi so a obai. Oba be ye juma e dia boa and it's a nipa nan to me antina honoma. Not just a reason out in buy and not failing. And who say I mean you spend a lot of painstaking efforts to make sure that nipa no be fail at home. Maybe no I was appointee some sort of manager crop be say bi on be hiano. Ombenya, the wife, the school fees. I mean, you spend a lot of money to make the person comfortable. So Anima Winina was costing the state a lot. Under Dr. Benasanti, or she said, a DNA beya, you do be to me boa Ghana for, senior beya, or more with the capacity, tech training a lot of engineers. How can we train these people to man our own plants? Only China 4 year discuss here, a agreement, or more training in Ghana 4 year. I think for over a year, this plant is being run by the Ghanaian. And it tells us that the Ghanaian has the capacity to manage his own affairs with the right leadership. All was done under the era. Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Any Minu Kasei, NBSSI. I mean, now GE, Ghana Enterprise Agency. Almost every time. See, we are implementing the U-Start period. You can't U-Starter. I didn't say. See, GG taxes were my more. Over half of that money goes into payments of salaries on more public sector. That's public sector in Uganda, your population of over among for is even more than 30 million. Less than 1 million people or 700,000 people are taking half of the revenue we make in this country. It is not sustainable. I think so. About so into me employee obia, and the ingenuity of this government and they say, "E dia na ebe to me aye e dia boa mbebunu se ne be ya you develop startups." Startups and they say mbebunu nyina be start e bi obi wo hono ma wo call online call Instagram Ghana for bebre and obi see or the your friend is saying ahwene ye mpaboa obi see beats ye mpaboa obi see odi I mean nyama bebre these are all nyama etumi nature e di grow businesses nti aban e di sika bi ekotu NBSSI for no hono in partnership with the former NEIP, National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. Sine be ya sa young people ye be identify homo na e disika akosho mo dwuma mu. Then senior menu ka say miti high e bia say mo business bia me year aban e disika be shem. Senior be ya business mu tra me zo metumi employ other Ghanaians no mo so ni ma be ye dwuma. Then it ban is hands wa enye obia na wo say on depending on government for employment because it is not sustainable say aban kwa e betumi employ nya. Menu ka say so so then again, for the past 4 years, consistently, there has been massive recruitment into the security services. Sankrofo ya employer muno. Oko ayen ko bisa so ye MPP ni anaso ye NDC ni. Ade ni say Ghana hia nkrofo a on betumi maintaining the internal security of this country. Fire service, immigration, police, military. There has been multiple and thousands of Ghanaians who have been recruited into the fold of the security services. Nina a bunch of ya or say, Mibunu, a benya bibi pa, a ye edia boagana. Enti, a ban near ma, ya benefiting on this government.
Matthias,
you started to say, yeah, can
But fantastic. Why a government PR no perfect? But not me busa say, in your own opinion, no, who the state of the Ghanaian youth now no saying?
Well, I mean, the state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright.
The
state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright. And I say that because I know the resilience of the Ghanaian people. I say that because I know the resilience of the Ghanaian people. There's never been a time I can say I solve problems in Ghana. As a matter of fact, the largest economy in the world, the United States of America, with over 400 million population, almost solve your problems. Running over 18 trillion economy, almost solve your problems. Yes, we'll have challenges.
Wow.
We'll have challenges. We'll have challenges. It is under this government. And then you see food inflation is skyrocketing. It's true. It is not everything I bet me solve overnight. It is this same government in the year 2019, a single-digit inflation. And then say a core challenges be more. Me trust say this same government will solve it. And I say the state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright because in share work or no, irrespective of the challenges you face, say you take advantage of them.
No, but Oka say has never been this brighter. How bright is it? Because most of the youth, are calling for employment opportunities. Most of them are also calling on the government. Say, I mean, they can't even provide meals for their families. And I don't know one girl free by Abia Jehai Dobakaso Ghanaian youth, current state, is so bright. Well, I mean, no free, baby to say soon about. And when you talk about the Ghanaian youth, winning what pertains among the youth, and I mean the kind of frustrations that most of them are going through.
Right.
Are you aware? And I say you are not aware.
I mean, I'm very much aware. But like I said, the problems that we face as a youth, and starting and there has always been problems. And Andy Ochina. But at every point in time, you share the will and the resolve of the people or more manage to solve the problems that we face. For instance, Midikan can say there are several measures in place that we can take advantage of. Me amiti hai me wo ebusuanfo any adamfo bebra periodically omo frame is omo hiamwa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all go through that state one more time. But me so me bisa me ho say few years ago na me treba oko high school crampo no na be din. And I do not have to worry about that because the government has provided the means by which me and back to my school. Beyond that, oko university Abanzo assign him say, and yet your parents none able to meet your school fees. And your moody measure be by through the student loan trust fund. In fact, student loan trust fund, I mean, me can't answer me anymore. A bon share what asylum down. Government realizes more often than not, it's no uko bisa loan or honum dia school. Omu require say obi here obi or ya ban juma guarantee.
Yeah, but I don't say when it comes to the academics, no. Fair enough, maybe at the progression and the support is there. But any panel school now, what about into the job market? There are challenges. And you'll be also soon as a biniti dibuano. And you'll be also maybe to me after through the academic ladder and maybe a again.
But I mean, I think
if it's all about academics,
no, it is not all support. It is not all about scholarships. It is not all about academics. You are taking the wind off my sail.
Well,
initially, I had also intimated, say, under this government, I've been the largest entry into the security services. As a matter of fact, per the time I now you were about, if I'm not mistaken, over 60,000 people on government of Ghana, 600,000 people on government of Ghana payroll. Minu Kasei, we have over 750,000. The over 150,000 people are employed. Omu ya Ghana for. Omu ya mebuno. Who call security services more? You name say age is a requirement. And to say Abia who apply to Ghana National Fire Service. Now you can say you should not be less than or you should not be more than 30 years. So that's over 150,000 people. No, Ghana for na yes so more. San Crawford na employ me. Yasis omo shebre because a ye momwa a sans so come for. Beyond that, I have also intimated, say, all the factories which are being created in this country. In fact, Dizemai is one of the best Dizembers we've had in this country. Omu kasa etia aban Omwa no makase say yen kaya aban for not anything. It is not Dizemai in Ghana. Na yewo meba yewo. And I'm saying
December,
this because December year and started December, but I'm referencing this particular December because amidst the challenges we face was the opportunities that we had during this December. The creative arts industry, restaurants in this country, video and camera guys, stage prop directors in Yamanema, all the shows are here organized. Ejuma na edi bromo. Omo artworks in Yamanema nyina, Afro Nation, Afrochella, all these events employ thousands of Ghanaian people. Yes, in Bemuno. Yenimze at some point in time, not dollar rate in Yamanema nyina. In fact, me wa down for 4 Bibre America. At some point in time, each and every December, timer, ye bushia, ye su yeji ye kakra. December, about 4 of them could not come down because earlier towards the November, no, now call say dollars and say me na niaman shedan ko yikakra. But when we are approaching the Christmas festivities time, no, ama dollar no e Kenya ni huna rate drop about 7 no, because first no be okra $1,000 bia is almost getting about 18,000 Ghana cedis. But by the time I do December, I buy a year niama. To say, Emma assurances within the economy, no. Emma dollar rate ni by form, and you'll be into me kofa the dollar kit will be in fambe, embassy, Ghana has say. And eventually, no, or more multi America crampo, they couldn't come. But those who were able to come, they also had fun because at the end of the day, no, Ghana for no, yet it's in Yamaso, full prices by down kakra, so name Yamekano. Relative price of goods and services, it's what called down kakra. And I may say, there has never been a time where we can solve all the problems in this country. But at the end of the day, where the efforts and measures are in place to help solve these problems,
do you think there are still opportunities available for the youth?
Indeed. Minu Kasai, I have also maintained that the factories which are being built, a Ghana for an employer more. Nancy, you are President Nana Don Kwabena Prah is speaking about Agenda 111, an ambitious project, say, out of 111 districts, no, Obabesi district hospitals, meaning say over 80 of them are at several, different levels of
over 80
completion.
Of them
are different levels of completion.
Walk around to see for yourself.
Over 80 of them are different levels of completion. 98.9. Artisans omuye ejuma wo honum no. Omuye ye nuanuma ye ni omutifie, omuye mason, omuye carpenter. Because aban yes ejuma yinti, omusu enye ejuma ye. Indeed, during Mahama time, a former president Mahama, Osi circle Dubai, ye nyina ye budget no so. But never in this country, in the history of this country, has there been simultaneous development in our economic and infrastructure development. Mini ukasei ambitious projects. Uko teshiya, ye see interchange wo honum. Uko haya obeche bilamte runabout. Wabosu kan haya. Yes, it's interchange.
Yeah, workers are on site.
Workers are on site.
Last week, story came said most of the foreign companies are laying off workers. Contractor, most of these expatriate, firms are.
Internal management of
internal management. And no challenge with maybe a funding.
No, until
funding. No, the problem is not coming.
I wouldn't want us
to. Employers need to lay off workers.
No, I don't want us to be speculative until those companies who have a catcher as the reasons of more lay off and answer. Minu can say there has not even been any evidence. Who statement a free Carol Gava or say or more lay off workers. I'm saying, sir, I don't want us to be speculative. Until those companies ebe my statement say we are laying off workers because projects here I see probably is about 80% completion. Say there's no need for extra workers. Obviously, a stage beer or send bimba, not the limited number of people who finish the project. But going back to the conversation I was having, let me catch you. What yes, PTC interchange former PTC runabout interchange kesie na ekoso honum. There has never been a time, even all the way to the north, Tamaloko or Enea, you see interchange honum. It is the money of these Ghanaian people and their taxes that is funding those projects. Mini ukase uko emina, we are building a huge port to Honum, Jamestown Midi Kankai. In fact, in terms of roads, sometimes say ube sorry, say ebia uko Legon, and opatututu, not those entering Accra. Long traffic. Mini ukase the city is also expanding at all flanks, the eastern and then the western. Kaswa Accra is Yatra. Many people are buying homes in those areas. But the question is, so Obibe sorry free nifie at 4 a.m. Now I buy Accra, be Juma. Now say Okofi enzo wakwa could do 10 p.m. It affects productivity. I buy some junior I can say. Then there's a need for us to make several interventions in the road sector. Then you say road keke, but roads that lead to those areas and change and affect the daily lives of people. Say near Obin to me sorry our machine was some free the bar waiting 4 years no sorry no prepare na nkola ne da okamu emboa entimini ukasei uhwe school junction all the way to Boteman major road construction here cost honum from Atomic all the way to Domi any echire road construction here cost honum ufa Tema Beach road major road construction here cost honum. All these are interventions are buying air senior beya. In fact, between Tema motorway interchange near Aban Yebe towards all the way Aflao from across Central University, government is expanding the road so that we can reduce travel time and reduce the inconvenience and pressure, because all these things contribute to stress in Yamanema. And I do not believe say Aban be Wahonuma a bit me chain irrespective of the external challenges we face. There are opportunities for us and we will take advantage of that.
Isaac J. Hyde, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP, or Nona and this one-on-one conversation we are talking about a wide range of issues. How the youth can also be used effectively. He's talked about opportunities available for the youth in various sectors. But Isaac, going into the elections, obviously the youth will lead the charge. Minim hawa more psych up the youth to lead that charge, are they really up for it? Say they will defend the new patriotic party to ensure say you break the 8.
You see, the NPP youth wing is led by a resilient and a boisterous young man, a friend of Salah Mustafa. In fact, Nidin a roadmaster.
Nidin
me say akrano ombreu. Me boss or sorry say or ko bogatanga. Obefem ekwa kopie mboku wasanechi abana vrongo ofrimu obefa tumu kwa kopie mu wa ofriwa wa sansi abada mango ofrida mango abatamali ofritamali na crossi lake no na kwa kopie mu wo ida atebubu through teacher mante ana say yebesan fa Pandai Dambai area. I mean across the length and breadth of this country. In fact yefa Kumasi Krampoa yefa Hafo through Bibieni na some PM Western North. The Juma only man groundwork movement. We are touching base with the right people and the youth of this country. We believe he said when the time is right, it be reform, and we are already doing that under the able leadership of the current leadership of the NPP. We are touching base and reminding that the Ghanaian people say, "Abai any year and your moon continue to keep faith." Me papa Samia Wuku, the Casa Okan say, "Ubekaya the last elections are occurring." The mantra they call it is keeping faith with the grassroots. Because the grassroots no mukra party. And we continue keeping faith with the grassroots. And I believe is that when the time is right, when the time comes, they will continue to stay loyal to them.
But how is the youth react to the internal politics within the party, knowing very well say parliamentary and presidential primaries up ahead?
Well, I mean, each and every facet of this country will experience some level of internal elections during the primaries. Bekaya and saying a general secretary statement by beginning of the year to tell us the roadmap going into the elections. Several recommendations are back towards the National Council on how to go about some of these things. We believe is when the time is right, official communication, but there's a lot of enthusiasm. Minu kasi maybe no be brave and no more you mini so be contested. Ukobus me frewa minya Nana Kwame Asafo-Adjei aye.
Yeah.
Ono.
From America ba.
Ono running for the peaceship. Uko Odotobria, Minya Lotewa, ono so say ono running be across the length and the breadth of this country. Mbunu believe it say almost, and that is the opportunity that the NPP provides you. You can say the NPP is the only political party that provides a bigger platform to the youth. Under this particular administration, a lot of the deputies are young across the country, from Mimi Dria, Sandra, and all of us were former student leaders. And no extra, your other colleagues say, when they also, join the ranks of the NPP, other opportunities will also extend to them. And see, the euphoria and the enthusiasm is there. That and they say the party gives way. Say, I'm sure say they will either do a breakdown, maybe orphan constituencies. Places are your seats. And of course, you also know, say we are also going to go for presidential primaries. I be selecting new faces or maybe party in him. And see, the enthusiasm and the euphoria is there. I believe, say, Kwabena Prah.
But so you are aware, so say. With the upcoming presidential primaries, as a youth, I take a center stage. Meanwhile, the youth wing is reacting to most of these support groups emanate from various camps. Any the kind of clash ebi omunya on social media near day your Benku or your BMW, your AFA. Any are the championed by the youth. Yes. And meanwhile, the youth wing nationally, you are reacting to all these.
For us as a youth wing, it's a laudable and a beautiful initiative. Because you see, at the end of the day, Minu Kasei, per the population of this country, per the last census, over 65% of Ghana's population are people below the ages of 40. These are Mebunu. And see, if they actively participate in politics, they are not just, taking advantage of opportunities for growth, but they are also getting involved to champion the day-to-day growth of the party. And see, as a youth wing, it also keeps the grassroots also actively involved. And yes, it will be out of fatigue and Watwakotina in China, maybe at the time you need a person, and also trust that within NPP, there's an equal platform for everybody. It is a democratic dispensation. It will be you can join any other wing. But at the end of the day, the beauty is also that the real prime is nipa. And I believe it say of all the 9 people who be named to party, all of them have the capacity riding on the back of the success of this government to take the NDC through 2024. In the Mebuno Nidia or Maya Crado say, be a party under the leadership of Ira Salam Mustafa Obed Director because he's the roadmaster in a council.
But NDP in the cracks in the party, say factions, APPMU amongst the youth, man to sanitize the atmosphere. Now eventually,
No, the point is that even,
and now you see it as normal.
It's normal. Even in the Republic of Ghana, we all have political parties. But at the end of the day, you real elections now. Holding a train another opportunity. NDC foreign and answer your Omupese, Omudada Ghana for through General Mosquito and some of the Omudi, the peace and security of this country. Ever be the agrombe try and trust Omakulati resource and EC4 and MPP4 out of Wapayo and answer Omako Shisha baby. I put figures together. Omudi call Supreme Court. Dada Ghana for waste your time. Threatening the peace and security of this country. Now say presidential internal elections. You're a General Mosquito. And it is no person than the current chairman of the NPP. He was the general secretary of the party. I can say at the time Omuko Supreme Court, but no money, the data and figures are Omuko challenge. And for us as an NPP, we believe in internal democracy. We believe in the fact that it is the resolute and social and foundation of our party. Until we can have all our differences, but at the end of the day, in re-elections now, that responds to Kukrudu Eshi.
I see. Jehai Dwaha, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP, na ene yaneno AD and Komo Ewo Epanwada Benso no na. So with this presidential race coming up, any parliamentary race, no bibi da mo mebuno nani so a mo hwese party ni beye na ebete party nani mu ana minimal mosomo wenge no role amu play in ensuring say aspirants are almost as you or many know, they do the campaign devoid of Niema Bia able to me a good part in Hufin. How are you advising in that direction?
Well, I mean, me stress I mean, it's a beautiful thing, say, yeah, as a mebunu, you bring your platform as support your person of choice.
What choice no I?
mean, me a national officer.
Okay, we need choice.
Me need choice.
The national officers need be here, Juma maybe more.
Oh, me name of any national officer.
We need many national officer.
Not that I know.
Oh yeah, Juma Mobi.
I mean, the leadership of our party, the general secretary, and the national chairman, my say no national officer should take sides in the primaries because any person or emerge as a flag bearer, any paye kwakoton. And I believe.
How about a regional officer?
I mean, then again, I am not aware of any regional officer or support you. But even if there's a regional officer, or
and a BMW in free buy.
I mean, and no, just will beside the campaign. The source, but I believe say whoever becomes
and yeah, Ashanti regional chairman and non a BMW in free buy.
Oh, maybe I know can BMW car. You to mean BMW into a coinage.
Wow.
And I mean, obi able to meet the need aba. But meaning say mantra any sloganeering is part of the election process. And whoever becomes the flag bearer.
Are you aware that party has been petitioned over Chairman to make conduct our Ashanti region?
Then again, it's a democratic dispensation. A year crampo say among for more your party mu e believe say bibi a whole margin and I say bibi touch ma wo bibi no they can petition a party structure mo believe say omubenya ho I mean a positive response because we know say people do not have trust in the system omu taking nyama into their hands and at the long run no e say nyama bebree. But if they themselves believe that petitioning, complaints, and I say, stepping forward, I'm citing an example. Now, say, area honum, constituency, I hear so be quiet.
Yeah, be so be quiet. Almost issue, about MC,
Yes, I mean,
any MP,
exactly.
Yeah.
Internally, piece, some audio, I mean, some. Say or freedom say I mean eventually a general secretary, the capable general secretary. I've never been this proud of the leadership of our party. The general secretary issued a statement and called for all the stakeholders and parties to come forward. That's a baby that is what makes us meaning say I mean the last meeting can say there's progress. And so far, the matter affect you. They are very happy with the progress of work. We believe he said the leadership is on course. And when the time is right,
say or pay or ubia or no between na Juma as the municipal executive.
I mean, I cannot come and discuss some of the internal issues but then again, the critical issue I wanted us to focus on is where people have trust in the system, because then again they don't put matters in their hands. The extreme I call any senior nanka, the worst it could have been say be a man for be funny man I mean but then again, general secretary and your national chairman a kasa no mutie because they believe in the structures of the party that say ye diama way echo two party painful anymore they will solve it, and that is the dispensation we find ourselves in. And it means that bibi abekoye
onim say bibi abekoye. But on the issue of Ashanti region, say you've not been mandated to speak to it, but are you aware? Meaning how you also react to the conduct of the chairman, you being a national officer, and the 31st night party, any the kind of endorsement, of course, and go against party, guidelines are made to
you see, sebi party, omunye police officers omu call rounds omu call chichin crop so if free say bibi or obi aye bibia and same fata and I say a go be unfin and I say it goes against the rules and regulations of the party omu to me the ba painful in him, and I can assure them say I have trust in the leadership of the party and they will take up the matter. We knew say petitions be brave and about inform them. And I know say omudi wejuma. Then again, if BBC was Ashanti region honum so say nkrofo honum no more issues so much me the benim paying for bedin wejuma. Paying for bedin wejuma.
Whatsoever as a former NUX president Denti, I'm sure you are aware of issues around students are almost legon vandals for issues, me name the roller APR now more into politics you can help mediate there, but the Who is saying?
You see, Nancy and me paying for be AD. I mean,
okay.
98.9. From where I sit, I mean, and this is not politics. This is my personal view about your education. And for somebody, a matana board so concerning education, your accommodation challenges I face on these our campuses. No, I don't think say building hostels ni expansion on campuses will solve the long-term issues we face, because at every point in time, I time and Legon, you see diaspora, name diaspora, Liman, say these hostels. No, I mean it was a beautiful venture. These were huge. Some of them taking about 1,800 at a go. Sometimes you introduce more beds to even expand it. But today, more people have come to the school, and there has been more, admissions, and so population has gone beyond capacity to contain. And next year, some could see 10,000 bed hostels. We are sure say in the next 10 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, your sons will be expanding beyond that. I think a solution to some of these things, and he said, we'll look at our public transport system, our general planning of our country, because maybe in June this year, obiti danso mana, Legon as a hostel. If we had an effective transport system across the country, any town and country planning, National Development Planning Commission, some of these agencies, together with the politicians, say, me the future plan of this country, say, that's why I buy into some of the major rules to ease the traffic and congestion, because who would done so much never taking no best. 2 hours and send we do live in London underground system. You can travel anywhere, even if you are using a bus. You can travel anywhere and get to your destination without being worried about the time I free because you predicted the traffic I will out. And to the long-term solution to this vandals ni Oppo issues, I believe it helps to quell the usual violence normally after SRC elections, any conflict I cause. But if it's just about the congestion now, I don't think that is a long-term solution. The long-term solution is academia together with industry, any government. It was planning your environment here so that population do not exceed the capacity of our cities.
I get you. All right, so Jehai Dwaha, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP, Onona Enewie Yeneno Edin Komowe Pahwada Benso, speaking to the Ghanaian youth and the nation at large, the Onosu Ehunu, Efa Emebunu no Hono, Ana Yeneno Edi and Samni Bi Ahun Komo Efa. And see, Uareshemuse going into the next elections, the youth, ebe to me, Ejnaho. Push the agenda of the government to ensure that you break the 8.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt now. Senior medical. In fact, yesterday, my birthday, me call Ashanti region, any me paying for students of KNUST, in fact, the TESCON leadership, with the help of the regional youth wing, any your students of more KNUST, your leadership, TESCON more KNUST, a call on grounds. In partnership to some initiative by a national TESCON, the secretariat, Abanyi has been the biggest support system to education in this country. There's no two ways about that. And the way he has a level 100 or more, no touching base with them so that they will join TESCON on our campus. Because over 50 people came to join for us to do that mobilization drive. And no, Mami hope and believe said the people and majority of our youth are still loyal to the NPP. And I have no doubt, over 60% of our population fall within the youth bracket, and to say to buy and there, those youth will be loyal to the NPP. Yes, sir.
That's your belief.
That's my belief.
Sir, and you SHS graduates,
and I believe my belief is the general belief of the ordinary Ghanaian youth.
The ordinary Ghanaian, you say?
Yes.
Any Ghana mebnum kasa Jehide?
Well, Ghana mebnum na afternoon way michiamu. And I'm speaking as your colleague, your brother, and a fellow. That and there Semiti Hanoma is because Obi and a certain among you a share a Jumapa in the past to give us an opportunity to come and join and serve. And now I am a deputy youth organizer. But a nun tracer or Chinameme ye a chain wa would me. a opportunity penamanya and a mediti akunwa wemu. Me so we believe say so you juma no working harder. You can even do more than I've done. Sometimes all you need is an opportunity to shine. The NPP provides that opportunity. And then we may face challenges. It is natural of all of us. Each and every year, you forming resolutions for the year. By the end of the year, no, and you to achieve it because not all the factors are in our hands. But then again, say upe amanyo kwa or more show commitment, the will and the resolve to make Ghana a better place. There's no other political party than the NPP. And the mestre say yen joining forces together to come along the beautiful Ghana that the current government and the area Nanado Don Kwabena any Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the digital vice president. As for Dr. Bawumia, the meeting didn't cry, not be because or no, Niama Wayama Yan in Bubunu. You see, first, Uku Ghana, Uku Mumu. That was one YD card, and then because of digitization in the registration, I ain't. In fact, digitalization na ichi minuka say yin mobile address. First, uko ebia Jamestown, si wagbado, usi anu afa corner emukono. We say all you need is to take your phone and digital address, ube call fee. Tax. I mean, it is beautiful to watch, and I know that with the right people in the place of governance, Ghana will see a better prospect. Enti minuanum munyina mumbo. And be share and be join here. Together, we shall work to make Ghana a better place.
All right, Mayenda Isaac J. Hyder say, Oba na oni abeche and semni bi efa the state of the Ghanaian youth and more so the new patriotic party and one butaya esu on any so meba yabeto our conversation so on a different level.
Nansia papa obi aya caution in a normal legal precedence, Your caution will next day either dismissal or suspension. I think you are aware. Because who were now you are the caution. Now, Sakoya, the NBMA, and Mara it me you with the Anasi Pamo. So, Nemichi. Enti Nancy, then you have to be as I call one organizing the party for a vice. Then I will say, vice must win. Kwabena hamun tiemi ye pa me pacho. Nyabu say tiemi. Nobody is afraid of Untimi. Those are your Ashanti region. You decided the flag bearership in Ashanti region in terms of from President Kufuor, Nana Kufuor. I didn't win it, bida. Maybe I'll call the other side. Now half hour next year, no change you kwa we are winning. It on one decision they take President Kufuor time and Dr. Nani Diye Juano. Now you want to be President Kufuor. And on it, Alan and Nana Kufuor. So no one will say no Allah. And in Aswani. And it's also a and to one regional Quabrian Sono. Mona Muna Bonting Giddy. A Juma, what you are did in Quabra would you what ya? Yeah, Quabrania.
Minimina.
Ah, Kai Chama to Yamakoyobos were Johnny, or my Amapon Quajani, or Obama, Jadiano Kobe. Name a contract just 1.5 months. The only thing about my cancer or sponsor is here. But yeah, to Mano. It on your match, am I? But where the be away you to know? Where there was a part in 24 taking it very careful. Say Bawumia must. Kwabena underline that word. Must win. Kwabena baby a election. Baby a game. Baby a sports. Baby a you to the word must. 85% hooliganism. I think you are aware.
Maybe.
Oh, not maybe. It is true. Baby obi be say me chinchina me wari bia when wiema oboma wa mama wo chance kan when chance kan etuoto wan enti word na wa kan ye dangerous e was some caution no
wuntumi won party mraso ba bia Chairman Samba won party mraso ba bia enti no emba se wo bi eye kuma bi wono akokan alanchemate asem enti yempam no. And me pesa me come too much. I'm telling you, and yet me pesa me come too much. Tamale, openi ba ku ya inadi. Se wa koka se won to me nkoye Alhaji Bawumia campaign ma no. Enti ya inadi. Was on record. Opa
I know.
Enti wugidi se we na saa na beboa. There be ye the party in se ne mra na ye adwuma. Ye de ye adwuma ye nyina ebeboa yen. Nane obi say yenyi mra no nto nchen na opani say yemfa nya adwuma obi foforo do so ba no nso say na no say mra no mo de to nchen ma obi enti me nso yemfa nto nchen ma me na party no MPP yɛkɔyɛ anaasɛ yɛba yɛn nso ne yɛse yɛdeɛ mmaranimfoɔ paa democracyfoɔ paa enti yɛanhwɛ a yɛne ankasa ɛna yɛsɛ yɛ daakye
na senior deɛ ne banku no Baumia and Kofo United.
Ose egofo yo mudi agro.
Banku.
Wo koye the whole what's it BM?
Baumia and Kofo United Banku.
Can you imagine? There's a good deal money so. Omudi ade na jani Jimmy o.
So ready yes. Banku.
Jimmy kwa. 21st century Kofo gidi so mbeko. Space. Moti ada BMW banku mienkoa
ba mienku for United
but the come some say mo start BMW mo say ba we must wait one
the bomb say win say win to me as well
that be one na koka win
wait and boys no so that be they pay different meaning
I'm say BMW
okay
say Baumia must withdraw
okay
now wo withdraw no wait that's why yes union Baumia must weep.
Hey,
so yes, won try ubesu e ba omi wept na wo ba be ye bibia mo ye BMW BM so ba be see wo mo the name of the brand you are bringing it into
BMW Germany any asem kese
ada be send this or the koto to say
asem kese pa
For all the information, news, views, and interviews, listen to the Don. He's got you on Happy 98.9 FM.
Good afternoon.
The Don Yamia Sunjin Cow.
Yeah, Queen, that's the same. I mean, also.
I don't know.